Valena Beety, she is Deputy Director of the Academy for Justice, and also Renee Moore-Smith. And the final segment here, I just wanted to ask you, how long has she been in prison now, Renee?
22 years.
She's been in prison for 22 years. So that means her newborn is 22 years old, 22, 23, and also she had a 3-year-old, Dakota.
Right. So he's 26 or so.
Got it. All right, final thoughts, and I just want to say this, that it seems to be a little bit in this whole thing where a judge would say, I don't know if I want to take up my time and go through this process because I don't think the jury would weigh this evidence. But it seems like the doctor, the forensic pathologist, who actually changed it from homicide
to accident
to an accident, would outweigh that to the point of even if it's a 1% chance that this woman is not guilty.
When that was the one piece of evidence that convicted her.
Yeah. Final thoughts from you, Renee.
Paul, we're looking for a pathway to freedom. I mean, we're just, there's so many options that could happen, but obviously clemency would be wonderful to have a pardon, but if not, just a commutation of her to parole eligibility. She's maintained her innocence all the way through, and now she's she's close to 50, and she just needs to come home. So, we're just trying to get someone to listen to us, to talk to us. It's a complicated case, obviously,
yeah. But
we need help.
Valena, let me get to the final thoughts of Valena. And I know that this is one of the things that you do in the book Manifesting Justice. Is this case probably one of the top 3 that you've worked on, or is it just normal what's going on out there?
It is absolutely one of the most important cases I've worked on, and it's been shocking to me that with all the evidence of her innocence that she's still in prison. Shocking. And on top of that, Paul, she has a perfect record in prison. She hasn't had a write-up since 2004. She had no prior criminal record before she came into prison, and yet she's still there, and she's going to be there for the rest of her life.
Yep.
Until someone steps in to do something.
Let me ask both of you, is there anything on record as far as Biloxi and the authorities in that area of child services being called to that home for any reason at all prior to this?
Well, there was, I won't go into it too much, but there was a child custody dispute between Big Brian, the biological father, and the biological mother. So there was something going back and forth between the two of them. But not for Tasha. I mean, Tasha had not been really involved in those proceedings at all.
Okay, your final thoughts on this. Where do we go from here?
Where we go here is D.A. Crosby Parker agrees to dismiss the charges against her or commute her sentence to time served. The governor turns it over to the parole board to immediately make a decision about parole or grant her a pardon. And, the attorney general can also step in here and say, we're dismissing these charges. We are letting this woman go home.
We have a double murderer who's going to be paroled. And that's in the works, and we talked about this not too long ago. This is the differences between these two cases is amazing how out of whack things are, but it is stunning.
And
ladies,
Paul, if you wanted her to come live on your show and do a polygraph, she would. Like, she has said the same thing for all of these years, for decades, and she just needs someone to listen to her.
Listen, ladies, I thank you so very, very much. If there are any updates, please let us know. I'd love to get you back on the air. Okay?
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
You got it.